Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Silence of the Lambs, the 25th Anniversary Edition, by Thomas Harris. Read by Frank Muller, with a new introduction read by Thomas Harris.
"25 years ago, in an old Sag Harbor building with a tilted floor, I wrote the closing words, 'The Silence of the Lambs.' Suddenly I realized I had finished the novel, and there on the page was my title. I felt a stab of happiness and let go of my desk, rolling in my chair down the crooked room until I smacked backward into the wall. Still in the thrall of the people in the book, still smelling cordite in the room, I wanted to say aloud the names of people that I love. A childhood memory intruded. As a small boy playing cowboys by myself, I shot a sparrow. I stood in the weeds looking at the bird, warm in my hand, tears hot on my cheeks. I shook my head and thought about beginnings. Once upon a time, Argosy magazine asked me to go to the Nuevo Leon State Prison at Monterrey, Mexico, to interview an American under death sentence for killing 3 young people. I was 23 years old, and I thought that covering a police beat in Texas had taught me all about the world. The prisoner was Dykes Askew Simmons, a former mental patient. When I sized him up, I saw a white male, mid-30s, about 5'11", 175 pounds, gray and hazel. Distinguishing marks: a bad Z-plasty repairing a cleft lip, and small scars on his head. He had the eyes of a fierce turtle. These he covered most of the time with a pair of black sunglasses. Simmons introduced me to some of his fellow inmates, one of the court officials from his trial, now imprisoned for looting an estate, and a news photographer who was locked up for taking wristwatches from the dead and injured at automobile wrecks. The photographer pulled up his sleeve to show the 5 watches he was wearing and offered me a good price on a bulova with a stained band. Simmons also introduced me to his wife, a good-looking nurse from Ohio who married him after he went to prison. They were allowed conjugal visits on Saturday night and had blankets to hang over the front of the cell for privacy.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?